Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Ryan McCrary, CEO and founder of McCrary Financial Solutions, LLC, and the McCrary Financial School. So, I hope everyone's doing well today. It's Friday. Hopefully, you're doing well. Weekend coming up. Whether you're just getting off work or you are doing your business or spending time with your kids, whatever you're doing, please share this information. Financial Fridays. So again, I am Ryan McCrary, the founder and CEO of McCrary Financial Solutions and the McCrary Financial School. If you're on here, please share this information to every social media platform, whether you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, LinkedIn, wherever you at. Please share this information. All my social media handles, if you want to follow me: Facebook, like my business page if you haven't already, McCrary Financial Solutions. On Instagram, I am my own boss 87. That's my own boss 87. If you want to follow me on Twitter and Periscope, it's Ryan McCrary 87. That's Ryan McCrary 87. And finally, if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, go to youtube.com/Ryan McCrary. That's youtube.com/Ryan McCrary. So everybody on here, please share. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you at, please share, because the internet is the best classroom in the world. Yes, it is the best classroom in the world because you can reach people all over the world like that. Getting a traditional degree, whether it's a bachelor's, master's, PhD, whatever it is, that's good. I'm not telling you not to get that. If you're in a specialized field, whatever it is, engineering, nursing, doctor, whatever, that's good. You need those specialized skills. You need that degree to make more money. But for most all the other professions, times have changed. So people, you need to get on board with the wave. Times has changed. Going to get that master's, PhD, I mean, that's cool, but that's not going to guarantee you a lot of money. Me and my cousin was talking about this earlier. We were saying, like, nowadays, honestly, the internet changed everything. Like, you don't need to go to school and get that degree and get that job. No, you got the internet. You can learn all the information in a university and more on the internet at your own pace. You could be sitting in your pajamas learning so much information. Google is a better university than any university in the world. I don't care what nobody says. So nowadays, whatever you're going to learn on that college campus, you can learn yourself, and probably more, and the information is more applicable than what you're going to be doing in your everyday life. So you can learn more than that, and you can make more money than working a job. So why not study the internet and just get into everything the internet has to offer? Because a lot of people aren't keeping up, especially black folks. Like, black folks, we need to get it together. We need to take advantage of all the opportunities that exist on the internet, because most people just want to be on social media for like entertainment, or be, for personal use, family. That's good. I keep in touch with family through social media as well. But number one for me is social media is for business. Like, you need to learn how to monetize your social media, because while you're not, like, times are passing you by. So if you just on Facebook doing all stuff that really doesn't mean a lot, just know you're making Mark Zuckerberg rich. He makes, I think, $1 billion a month. When you want to just be on there, going live because you're on vacation. All right, that's cool. Why don't you go live so you can start teaching and start making more money? So it's all about shifting the paradigm and just shifting your mindset. So you need to just start getting onto the internet and just learning so much, and you can make more money. If you follow people like Gary Vee, he always talks about it. He always talks about the opportunities that are out there. And the thing is, it's only going to get worse. So if you're not on this now, it's going to be hard for you to catch up going forward. Like, that's why all, like, the news stations, the TV shows, like, all that stuff is going to be out of here. Everything's going to be on the internet. It already is. So that's why you'll find something out on Twitter before you find it out watching ABC News. So this is only going to continue to keep getting worse. So if you don't want to take advantages of the opportunities on the internet, you're going to miss out. You're going to be working that job trying to get 50, 60, 100,000. Even 100,000 nowadays is really not that much money. 6 figures working a job is not that much money. And I'm not saying I got the most money. I ain't got a lot of money. So you don't bet on the horse or now you bet on where the horse will be. So if you're just trying to get 6 figures, all right, that's cool. But like that is before tax. So you might have made 100,000 before tax, but you might have only brought home 60,000. That's not a lot of money. There's people making 50,000. I'm bad. I have a little flood warning here. So it's people making 50,000, 100,000 a month on Amazon. So I'd rather make 50,000, 100,000 a month on Amazon than try to work a 6-figure 9-to-5 job that you got to work 40, 50 hours a week. You know what I mean? And go up there, probably drive an hour. Like that's cool, but no, you could be sitting down, you could be going out playing with your kids, and you getting PayPal's emails talking about money's in your PayPal. You ain't have to do nothing. So it's all about passive income and just recognizing the opportunities that exist on the internet for you to make money and you just to learn a lot of information. So I'm using that. I'm taking that to my advantage and trying to, yes, you are right. All right, thank you. And also, if anybody has any financial questions, please feel free to put them in there and I will try to answer any financial questions that you have. Peace, King. Peace to Justin. So if anybody has financial questions, please just put them in the chat and I will try to answer them. I want to be able to answer as much as possible, help as much as possible. So like I said, I have used this to my advantage to teach financial information that I learned working that 9-to-5 job. So instead of slaving on a 9-to-5 job all the time, making white people rich, I'd rather take my own time and be in control of my own time to teach my own people the information that I learned about finance, how to build wealth, how to invest in the stock market, how to buy mutual funds, how to develop a trust, how to get a proper estate attorney, all that type of information that black folks are being left out of. I want to teach the people because I worked in those environments. I've talked to multi-million-dollar clients on a daily basis, like different ones every day. So I know that the money is out there. And I know that nowadays there's no excuse for not being able to get your own money and do your own thing because the internet and social media has changed the game. So we will talk about a lot about that more. So I mean, I really, like I said, just want to talk about wealth building, investing, stock market. So first thing I want to do is shout out the Black Insurance Network because we had a scholarship running for someone to take my financial literacy course, Understanding Financial Literacy, How to Build Generational Wealth for the Next 100 Years. We had a scholarship running. The Black Insurance Network wanted to sponsor someone who needed it, someone who was not financially literate, someone who, need to get in control of their finances but maybe couldn't afford the class or, they had other obligations. So we did select someone. Thank you to everyone who did apply, but we did select someone, a woman named, I think, Vicky Burgess. That is her name. I'm not sure where this queen is from. I'm not sure what she does. I know she also is a student of Andre Hatcher. Shout out to Brother Dre. So she reached out and said she really, wants to enhance her financial education. She did the correct tools by sending it to the correct email. Some people sent the request to the incorrect email, and they may have got disqualified for that. But we will have another one coming up shortly. But shout out to her. She received that. And shout out to the Black Insurance Network. So if anybody on here needs life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, business insurance, go to theblackInsuranceNetwork.com. That's theblackInsuranceNetwork.com. Can you help me understand what a P and E ratio is? Ratio need clarification. Okay, I'll answer that in a second. P and E, that's principal and earnings breakdown. I assume that's what you're talking about. So yeah, I can talk about that. I assume you're talking about the principal and earnings breakdown. So like I was saying, shout out to the Black Insurance Network for sponsoring that and doing that. Of course, I will shout you out. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for giving back. So anybody else, if you want to sponsor someone into my financial literacy course, send an email to info@RyanJMcCrary.com. That's info@RyanJMcCrary.com. So it'll be good advertising for your business, good way to, give back and just, put a scholarship into your businesses or your name for someone else who helped black folks get financially literate because we need the shit the most. Seriously. We need financial literacy the most, but we study it the least. We got to shift that paradigm. We got to flip that. We got to turn that inside out. So like I said, if anybody needs insurance, not just life, especially if you don't have life, get life. Definitely get life. There are different policies you can get that. But if you don't need life, if you need insurance for your business, if you need health insurance, if you need car insurance, any type of insurance, visit theblackInsuranceNetwork.com. That's theblackInsuranceNetwork.com. Also, if you want to enroll in the McCrary Financial School, you can actually enroll there for free if you want. Go to themccraryfinancialschool.com. That's themccraryfinancialschool.com. It is free to enroll. Also, click the link that's in the title that will give you access to free wealth building tips, a whole free hour of a lot of information that I just went, screen shares and slides, and I'll go into a deeper dive. You can get access to that by clicking the link in the title. Moving on. Now, today I do want to talk about the stock market a little bit. Let me answer Justin's questions first. So we said, I guess, P and E ratio. I assume, Justin, you're talking about like principal and earnings. So that is, I guess, depending on your investment. So I know, and for instance, like the 529 plans I have, if you bought an investment, you have a principal and earnings. So for my 529 plan that I have for my heirs, let's say I put $1,000 into the investment, and now the investment is worth $5,000 after 5-10 years, whatever. My principal is $1,000, and then my earnings would be $4,000 in that example. So I put in $1,000 and then accumulate it. Now it's worth $5,000. My principal would be $1,000. Earnings would be $5,000. Price to earnings. You mean like for a stock? I'm not sure exactly what you mean when you say price to earnings. I guess for the stock, I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I know a lot of people refer to P&E as principal and earnings. So for a lot of investments, you have principal and earnings, and then when you do compound interest, like when you put $1,000 in, and then you do like $100 a month or $200 a month, all that will still be your principal. So you may put $1,000 initially, and then you do $100 a month, so that's another $1,200. Your principal could be like $2,200, and your earnings could be whatever the investment's worth, like $3,000 or more, or you could have a negative return. Your earnings could be negative. But as far as price to earnings, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I guess you're referring to individual stocks. If anybody else has a question, please put it down there. I will answer it for you. Please put it down there. Now I want to explain something else. Also, if you haven't shared, please share this information to all your social media pages. And if you have a Facebook business page, put it on there, please. So I want to talk about the myths of the stock market, because a lot of people just don't invest for all these myths. So I want to talk about 3 specific myths in the stock market. I'm going to debunk those myths. So I did a lecture the other day for the PassiveIncomeSchool.com, and we were talking about the stock market and how to build passive income from the stock market. And a lot of people just had questions on like the myths and why they don't want to invest and so forth. So I want to debunk all those myths. So if you have a myth about the stock market, please get that myth out your head. The only way to guarantee losing money in the stock market is to not to participate in the stock market. So don't think, I'm not going to put in their money because I'm going to lose it. When you don't put any money in, you're guaranteeing that you're going to lose money and not build any wealth. So get that myth out of your head. So instead of buying a share of Nike, you want to go and buy Jordans. So when you go and spend $100, $150, $200 on Jordans, you lost that money. You got $200 sneaks, but you ain't got no wealth. You lost that money. But you won't spend $200 to put into the stock market because you think you might lose money. But when you buy something, you guarantee to lose that money. That white corporation, that Asian person, that Arab person ain't bringing that back to the black community. But you don't care. You want to go get the sneaks because you got $200 fly sneaks. But if I say put this $200 in an investment and do compound interest, that'll be $1,000 before you know it. No, I might lose it. I don't know. I might lose it. The stock market's going to crash. No, you got the wrong mindset. You got the wrong mindset. So the first myth people have is I will lose everything in the stock market. Well, the way to stop that is diversification. So you won't lose everything in the stock market if you're diversified. So the first myth is, I'm going to lose everything in the stock market. Well, that won't happen if you practice two fundamental rules. The first fundamental rule is you are diversified. Get diversified. Have multiple different stocks. There's no period in American history where someone had a diversified portfolio, talk about maybe 20 or 30 up to 100 different stocks in one portfolio, and they had the investment for at least 10 years and they lost money. Like I said, there's never been in history of the stock market, never been anybody that had a diversified portfolio like a mutual fund or something where they just had different type of stocks, not the same one stock, where they had different stocks and they had it for at least 10 years, over a 10-year period or longer. They never lost money. Of course, anything can happen, whatever. I'm only going off 120 years worth of history, but nobody has lost money. So the first myth, if you say you're going to lose everything, well, get a mutual fund. If you buy a mutual fund for $1,000, you're going to have hundreds of different stocks in one fund. So spend $1,000, you're going to have hundreds of stocks in that one fund. So you won't lose everything, because not all those hundreds of companies are going to go out of business. I doubt it. It hasn't happened in 120 years. So make sure, just make sure you diversify. So the first myth is, I'm going to lose everything. No, you're not going to lose everything, because you're going to diversify. Buy a mutual fund that automatically puts you in hundreds of different stocks. If you get the Acorns app and you invest, it's going to put you in a mutual fund. A mutual fund, so you're diversified. And the second way to debunk that myth is for the long term. Investing in stocks is for the long term. It is not for the short term. Investing is for the long term. So if you come into it like Warren Buffett, because he's a billionaire, and even his kids said when we were growing up, he wasn't a billionaire, and they may be 50 or 60. He's in his 80s, so his kids were like 50 or 60. So 40, 50 years ago, yeah, he wasn't a billionaire, but now he is a billionaire. So it's over a long period of time. So the first myth, get out of it. You'll lose everything. No, you won't, because you're going to be in it for the long term and you're going to be diversified. The second myth is, people think you need a lot of money to invest in the stock market, and you do not need a lot of money to invest in the stock market. I'm going to say it again. You do not need a lot of money to invest in the stock market. A lot of people think you need hundreds, thousands, whatever it is. You can put thousands into the stock market. You can put 100,000 into the stock market, but you could also put $5. You can take $5 and put it into the stock market. There's an app called Acorns, or there's an app called Stash, or there's an app called Robinhood. There are multiple different apps, because the apps change the game. Now there's no excuse. So if you can't invest in the stock market, that means you can't afford to get your hair cut. That means you can't afford to get your hair done. That means you can't afford a car note. That means you can't afford to go to the movies. That means you can't afford to go out to eat. So that's a million different things. That means you can't take your kids to the beach. That means you can't go to Atlantic City. That means all this different stuff. You can't take your kids to the water park. You can't go to Six Flags. None of that stuff. You can't do none of that stuff if you can't invest in the stock market. But I see a lot of people who are doing a lot of that stuff, but they say they can't afford to invest in the stock market. But you can. Like I said, that's a myth that you need a lot of money. You do not need a lot of money. You can invest in the stock market with as little as $5. $5. Get the Acorns app, and you can do $5 a day. You can do $5 a week. You can do $5 a month, whatever you can afford. But that gives you the ability to do it. So don't just go to Target and Walmart and Starbucks and McDonald's and spend all your money. No. Buy some shares of stock in the company. Get some equity. We got to get this wealth game up. You got to get some assets. A job is cool, but own a business. Going to the mall is cool, but own shares of stock. Then you'll get emails saying you want to vote if this person should be the CEO, this person should be on the board. That is having a little bit of power. That is having equity. That is having ownership. That is having assets. So when you pass on, you give your kids assets. They don't have to start the game like how we did, going to get a job, taking student loan debt, all that. No, they're already going to have properties they can have that are investments as passive income, properties they can live. They don't got to pay somebody rent. So when you say that you can't afford to buy a house, but you pay rent for 10, 20, 30 years, you bought someone a house or two. So change your mindset. What do I need to do to be an accredited investor? I mean, I don't know what you mean, accredited investor. I mean, I consider myself an accredited investor. I mean, no one has to accredit me. I don't care. Um, I'm not sure. Accredited investor. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I mean, you can be an investor now. You can say the stock market's still open till 4. So if you don't have any stocks and then you want to get the Acorns app and buy $5, you're an investor. Accredited investor, I don't know. Fuck that. I don't know what that means. Don't anyone try to accredit you. You're an investor. You can be an owner. Assets or reliability? Absolutely. Assets over liability is how you get your net worth. People think if you make 100, 200,000, that's a high net worth. No, that has nothing to do with your net worth. People so worried about income. Income is good, but you want to have ownership. Equity over income. People just worried about how much I'm going to make, how much this job's going to pay. Oh, I'm going to make whatever on this job. No, I don't care about how much the job is going to pay me. I want to know what equity stake I have in the company. Like, seriously, it's all about changing your mindset. So, back to the second myth, people think you need a lot of money to invest in the stock market. No, you don't. You don't need a lot of money. Talk about a certain net worth or something. I mean, I guess maybe, I know what different investment companies, like, you may be a certain type of investor, like where I used to work, a company called Vanguard. They had, like, you were like a core client, a Voyager client, Voyager Select, and Flagship. Like, flagship clients were like $1 million and more. Voyager Select was like $500,000 to $1 million in assets. Voyager was like $50,000 to $500,000, and the core client was someone. My bad, somebody called me. So yeah, like a core client was like 50,000 or less worth of assets. You were that type of investor, and then the flagship investor was like $1 million or more. So yeah, I mean, don't worry about that. Just invest. So the third myth in the stock market is that the stock market is rigged, or you're going to somehow get rich off penny stocks. I see a lot of people when they're new to the stock market, all they talk about is penny stocks, trying to day trade and trying to make a lot of money. Like, listen, get that out of your head. If you're trying to trade penny stocks, if you're trying to day trade, if you think you're going to get rich that way, get that out of your head. When it comes to penny stocks, I can put 20 people in a room and 5 people may make money, but the other 15 probably won't, because that get rich quick scheme is the wrong way to look at the stock market. So don't just think, it's rigged and I'm going to just put money in this share. This stock is worth 10 cents. It's going to go right up to a dollar and I'm going to get rich. No, get that get rich quick scheme out of your head. Don't try to day trade, and don't really mess with pennies. I'm not telling you don't mess with penny stocks. You can make money through penny stocks, but if you're going to the stock market just trying to trade penny stocks and day trade, you're missing out on everything. So, to wrap up, the stock market should be used for the long term, and you should be in there consistently, and you should be diversified. So make sure you are, number one, diversified. You have multiple different stocks. The app Acorns that allows you to pick multiple different stocks, because you'll be in a portfolio. If you download Acorns, they're going to ask you. Acorns will ask you what type of investor you are. Do you want to be conservative? You want to be moderate? Do you want to be aggressive? And based on what you say is based on what type of portfolio that you will be in, and you will be in a mutual fund, which is diversified. So the first thing is diversification. And then the next thing is consistency and long term. So diversification, get diversified portfolio. Make sure you're consistent. So with passive income, or compound interest, you put money in consistently on a periodic basis. So every time you get paid, every 2 weeks, you put a certain amount in. Or if you want to do once a month, put a certain amount in. But make sure you are consistently putting money in. And then the third and final thing is it will be for the long term. Investing is for the long term. Nobody in American history has lost money if they're in a diversified portfolio and they had the portfolio for at least 10 years. So you keep it for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, give it to your children, then they're straight, put it into a trust, and then you can have money still go consistently buying shares of stock. So when you get to your grandchildren and great-grandchildren, y'all billionaires. Your great-grandchildren can be a billionaire if you start today. So start today, start investing. If you want a free wealth building tips, visit the link that is in the title. If you want to sign up for my school, it's themccraryfinancialschool.com. It's free to enroll, themccraryfinancialschool.com. Is it a good time to get Snap 15? I don't know. I definitely don't give specific advice because stocks, you cannot predict them based on the random walk theory, meaning a stock cannot be predicted. So I don't care what analyst says, what anyone says. They did an experiment with monkeys, and monkeys beat the best analysts on Wall Street more than half the time by picking random stocks. So no one knows how a stock will perform in the future. But yeah, I mean, for the long term, I don't think it's necessarily a bad investment. People spend $15 on fast food. So instead of spending $15 on fast food and you want to put up your Snapchat filter, just buy a couple shares of them for $15 a piece. And if you lose, well, you lost $30. But it could go up. So who knows? In 10 years from now, who knows where Snapchat will be? So that could potentially be a good investment. So further information, just visit themccraryfinancialschool.com. That's themccraryfinancialschool.com. And it is free to enroll. And click the link that's in the title. You'll get access to free financial information, and you'll be connected. You'll be connected to my email list. So everyone have a great Friday, great weekend. Whatever you're going to do, just start building wealth now. You have to start building wealth now. You got to change your mindset. It's not about working a job. That's good, but learn how to be an owner. Have equity in the business. You know, it's okay to go shopping. You want to live it up. You want to buy your kids nice things. That's fine. But also buy them shares of stock. So shift the paradigm and change your mindset.